Woo-hoo. Yeah. Here we go. From Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square.
Good.
In Fort Worth, Texas.
Welcome
in, everyone.
If that music don't put some starch in your stride, I think you're a lost cause, bro.
Yes, sir. Our good buddy up in Tennessee, Brian Emerton.
Our little hillbilly picking buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much for the music for the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
By the way, check if next time you're on YouTube surfing around watching the Grandpa and Pappy Show or whatever, toot your whistle, trips your trigger, check him out. He's involved with a band called Those Damned Old Hillbillies.
They're good.
Good music, yeah.
Yes, sir, they are good.
And look up Thomas Gabriel while you're there, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll all make you pat your foot.
We all appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us for the Grandpa and Pappy Show today as we usher in the weekend together.
Yeah.
Got an interesting topic today, one that's just got everybody shaking their heads, Pappy. I'm telling you. And that is, are you tired of the gender equality that they're trying to ram down our throats?
Well,
yes.
All I can say is keep my junk covered, man. I'm not going through that mess.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about COVID abuse in today's show. Thank you for that to Mike Lipka, who made a suggestion to the show. But first of all, let's take a look at our first topic today. Here we go.
This one's a doozy here, buddy.
It is a good one. Are you tired of the gender equality that people are having to face today? Well, let's dive right in, Pappy.
Right.
Thomas Green said that he's tired of the whole thing. I have 2 daughters, and I'm afraid that they will have to face all of this messed up stuff and can't enjoy being just little girls.
Yeah.
It has got to stop, and we've got to quit talking about it and start doing something about it.
That's a fact. It's already gotten out of hand.
That's spoken like a true father right there.
Very good. James O'Donnell said the solution to boys competing against girls as equals is simple. If this new ruling law gets pushed through, all the females have to do is enter the event, show up at the event, and then refuse to compete.
There you go.
Make it as open as kneeling during the anthem. You want to see a statement? That would be a statement. From the promoters, school ticket sales, etc., it wouldn't take but a few of those types of events, and this whole thing would be done away with. I'm not so sure the way they got.
Hey, I'm kind of right there with you, James.
The way they got to working their way around the obvious, you know.
Oh my God!
But yeah, that's good thoughts there, James. Thanks for sending that in, man.
Cindy Gail Roberts Thomas says abso-freaking-lutely.
I like that. That's one word too.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry Williamson said he is 1,000,000% sick of it.
Wow.
Randall Gates says, I'm even sicker of the educators who brainwash the young with their nonsensical poppycock.
Poppycock, old boy.
Yeah, I said.
I thought that was a sucker over in England or something.
Yeah.
Let's go for a poppycock. Mike Landa said there's no way a guy should be allowed to participate in athletic events against the girls.
Bingo.
It's just not right to do so. We're all so different, but one thing remains the same. Boys are boys and girls are girls. It doesn't matter how many hormones a person takes, they're still the same gender as they were born with. And that's just a fact, Mike. You don't have to look down in front of your pants to determine whether you're a boy or a girl. If you do, you need help. But you're right, brother.
I'm going to tell you something. Every time I read this, I don't know if you folks remember that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Kindergarten Cop, where he was undercover as a kindergarten teacher having to put up with all these little kids.
Drove the poor man crazy.
One little boy stood up. He called on him. He said, boys have penises and girls have vaginas. Every time I think of that, I think of that movie. But it's so true. It's so true. I mean, coming out of the mouth of babes.
Yep.
Boys have penises, girls have vaginas.
Children have an incredible sense of knowing how to tell the truth and get by with it.
It's so.
Well,
Oh,
just
Lord,
a fact,
that's
though.
hysterical.
Well said, Mike. Kelly Couch Gleason says, I am slow. Is the equal gender equality on reference to sports? Honest question. Sherry Sizemore answered her by saying, no, they're trying to make it legal for children to change their sex. Also, instead of us having 2 genders, now there are countless.
That's what they keep telling us. I mean,
oxymoron.
yeah,
Children
can you imagine
and sex,
a psychiatrist with one of these on the couch?
Jesus.
Now, who am I addressing today?
That's right. Show me on this doll where it hurts.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Kelly came back to tell Sherry that back in my day, children didn't make decisions of this proportion. They're children.
Yep.
It's mind-boggling. And thanks for answering me.
Oh,
Well, there you go. It was a good exchange between folks.
well, it's just like I was saying earlier. I could see the look on Dad's face. God rest his soul. I walked in and said, "Daddy, I want to be a little girl." After he thumped me in the forehead with that hickory hammer handle finger of his, he'd say, "Get out in the backyard and play, bitch." Since you want to be a little girl. Oh my God! What's the world coming to, bro?
Ain't it so?
Darlita McCauley Holland said, "Oh my goodness, it's so stupid, such a farce." Randy Landers up in Wyoming and Barbara Payu both agreed by saying yes, they're tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just as I am.
And I think I left an A off there. Barbara Payu.
Barbara Payu.
My bad.
Okay.
Nadia Shepard said, I know of someone that flew into Portland's airport. Excuse me. I knew of someone that flew into Portland's airport and needed a restroom for men.
Oh boy.
All the men's and women's were locked.
Mm-hmm.
He found one and walked into a mutual one that was open. There was a woman and children there, but he had to go. And then another man walked in. Really?
Those mutual ones aren't those like one-holers with a sink?
Kinda, yeah.
Belly up to the sink and make it pee-pee? I don't know if I could have rested with that. I'm afraid I'd have to lock the door if I went in there, but
Yep.
kind of the way I am. Mark Mason said, I can tell you one thing, by God, if any of my girls or wife needs to use a restroom and a man, no matter how he's dressed, decided to go in there, he won't make it. They expect us to respect their beliefs, but not adhere to ours. We'll stop at that door. It is just common sense that a male uses the men's room and a female uses the women's. What is so difficult about that? Until we say enough is enough and start standing up for what is right, they'll continue to push their agenda down our throats. That's just fact.
Again, that movie keeps going through my head with that little boy.
There was a look on his face when that little boy said it. Cracked me.
Oh, yeah,
I just
no
looked
kidding.
at him. What do I say now?
And then the look on Schwarzenegger's face. My God, what have I gotten myself into? You know? Well, we have a lot more opinions coming your way, but first of all, we're going to take a slight time out, and we'll be back right after this.
That's right.
Stay with us.
Welcome to your new home, guys.
We couldn't have done it without you.
Seriously.
Right? Right here.
We are back on the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Welcome back, everybody.
Absolutely. We appreciate you taking time out to be with us today. Our subject, if you're just joining us, are you tired of this gender equality that's being forced down our throats by the Democrats? Yes, I am. Darla Walker says, I will not support it. And Debbie McGowan Howard said, this is so beyond stupid. Mary Sweeney says, I can't support it either. It is not natural the way God intended it to be.
Well, God didn't intend for old men our age to wear dresses anyway.
I saw one on Facebook the
dragging
other
her
day.
ju-
I'm just going,
be dragging her
on.
junk behind us, even with a long
Don't you
dress
have
on.
any pride as a man?
Oh Lord, man! What is it? Our assistant Health and Human Services or whatever it is.
Nominee, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord help us all. Elizabeth Floyd said, I'm sick of all the labels. It's honestly too much to understand, and I'm sick of them getting mad at you when you don't understand and are trying to.
Bingo.
I'm sorry that you have 35 personalities, and I can't figure out which one you are today. Did you know there's 64 identities, by the way?
What do you think? I don't know. Let me think about it. Okay, I will. Shut up. All right, got it.
I can't keep up with the voices in my head just being a simple male, you know. I mean,
What do you got, K-Bird?
Well, what I want to know is, where are the feminists in this little
good question.
gender
Great
equality?
question. Great
They have been
question.
fighting for women's rights forever and a day.
Yep.
And where are they? Because what's happening now is taking all the women's rights away.
Yep. You're right.
I mean, it just is.
Men and women.
Men and women.
Children.
Well, look at the sports world, the women's sports world. Guys wanting to participate in women's sports. What's fair about this?
Nothing.
It's not fair because these young girls have been working to try to get scholarships to the college of their choice. And when the guys have come into the picture now, beating them out, it lowers their chance of getting those scholarships, and it goes to the guys.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just a guy that can't compete with another guy, and he's
yeah.
just a little pansy.
How do you
Yeah.
really feel there, Keeper?
Hey, I'm right there with it.
I
though.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
telling
It's like
you,
that
I'm right there.
7-foot Italian dude over there that's on a college level girls basketball team. And it's got to be the ugliest woman I ever
Or
seen in my life.
the black African American male
Track runner,
that was in track is setting these records and beating the lady tracksters. You know, I mean, come on, the ladies' sports as we know it is going to disappear.
They say, "What's that guy's name? He sure can." They say, I don't know, but she sure can run fast.
So does a guy that tries out for the guys' track team and not make it, then the next day he decides, oh, I'm a girl. And then he goes and gets on the girls' team.
Yeah.
That's what is happening. Part of
It's
it.
a crying shame's what it is, because I mean that's why they differentiated man and woman sports. You know, give everybody an equal chance. You know, what the hell?
I agree. John Rockholt said the Democrats have now declared themselves to be anti-science party. B.J. Tanner seemed to agree when he said that is not all they have declared themselves to be.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Ain't it a fact, BJ? Big Crawdaddy Crawford Young said it's simple. Just pull a Tanya Harding. Then they'll start crying. Then you tell them, man up. Chris Schomburg said the United States has been taken over by morons, and Tracy Sanchez says very much so.
Oh, my God.
Pull your panties up, man up, by God. Your slip showing, man up.
My question is, why are we standing by and letting all of this happen? We talk about it. We bitch about it. We talk about what needs to be done, but nothing gets done. And the minority, just a minority part of this population is making our Washington laws support them instead of the majority of people.
You know, there's a lot of law enforcement agencies that's ducking their head.
That's where you folks that need to get on the phone with your state representatives, your congressmen, your senators from your state, and let them know you are not happy about this at all.
That's a fact.
That's where we're letting down.
That's what makes a difference. You vote for it. You raise hell about it. I mean, why does a silent majority wait till something obviously has already happened before they'll start bitching about it? I've never understood.
We can't even gather together with more than 10 people, to talk about it or protest about it without being called insurgents,
Don't forget racist.
Oh, yeah, and racist, yeah.
And propagandist.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Potato Head, he's going out the door.
That pisses me
No
off.
longer Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head.
Now he's just called Potato.
Potato Head.
And
Yeah.
Potatoette.
I bet Idaho is happy about that.
Idaho. I'm not the hoe. You might be the hoe, but I'm not the hoe.
That's true.
I'm offended by that word. I'd rather have a technical name for prostitute.
Mm-hmm. All right, here at Crawford.
Oh, boy. Just read that. Go ahead.
Okay. Marshall Langley said what they are going to do is to force more women into carrying a concealed weapon.
Oh, Lord.
And when one of these freaks comes into the ladies' room, they may get their plumbing shut off.
Well, they'll have a leak in their own plumbing system. Huh?
Yeah, then the problem is definitely solved.
God, you tell them, Marcy. And and I've noticed we've got a lot of friends through the show and just buzzing around, and I've noticed a lot of women carry guns.
Didn't that kind of happen years ago where that lady cut off the man's private part and then threw it out the window?
Yeah,
She got mad because she caught him,
screwing around.
Well,
around.
yeah, it landed on two nuns' windshield that
That's
was
Miss-
driving by.
Miss Bobbitt.
Bobbitt, that's it.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, and
Come
it was,
Bob.
It's not out of the picture,
it was bobbing.
It did, but it landed on two nuns' windshield as they was driving by when she threw it out. And one nun looked at the other and said, "You see the size of that bug?" The other one said, "Never mind that. You see the size of that ding-ding on that bug?" So, now you have it.
Oh, there you go.
He had that song back on, didn't he?
Yeah, I had it sewn back on. Yeah,
It's as long, but it bends
And it's
over
still
halfway
bobbing.
in the middle.
It's not functioning.
Halfway down, though.
it's still bobbing. You know.
It's good to go for the back half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lordy me. Harold Dixon says, "I am not sick of it, but it showed a lack of common sense in our government." Donna Briggs Moss agreed by saying, "Yes, sir, buddy." Earl Anderson said, "Yes, I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous." It is.
And so it goes.
Apparently she didn't get it.
James Gordon Wolfe said equality is the state of being basically the same creature.
Yeah,
It is not something one must achieve, but something with which he is born.
yeah.
It can't be subtracted from him, and he even gets to take it with him when he goes. We are male and female of the same species.
Yep.
Unfortunately, equal recognition is another story, as sadly, in many cases, it must be earned.
That is pretty well said, James. Jimmy Mitchell says, "I can't believe we're having to talk about this.
Ain't it so?
Since the beginning of mankind, God differentiated the sexes for a reason. Anyone who believes they need a sex change operation should seek professional help. It's not natural, and it doesn't solve a thing. A boy who wants to compete against the girls is just a kid who is afraid to man up and grow up. Life isn't fair, and you can't change the rules of nature to get your little trophy." Yeah, not even if you,
About
not even if
as
you ca-
honest as you can be, right
not
there.
even if you cut your ding ding off, you don't get a trophy.
Ain't it so? Let's see. Shirley Mills said, absolutely.
Yep.
I say grow up and accept that you were born as a girl or a boy and be the best you can.
Yeah.
God chose your gender. No one else should try to override it. Sabrina Monk Drabing said, I'm sick to death of it. And Philip Charles Day said, hell yes.
Hell yes.
Not yes, but hell yes.
And Sandra McElroy comes back and says, "For me, it's easy. You're either male or female. Trying to be something other than that is not a natural thing. The countercultural needs to be looked at intensely. The majority of sane Americans don't want to be around them." Yeah, you got a point.
That's just saying it like it is, folks.
God, I mean, look down the front of your pants. If you got an Audi, you're a guy. If you got an Innie, you're a girl. That's simple. I mean, what the hell?
Well, that's another way of looking at it. Yeah, sure is.
I don't know
Hey,
what.
thanks
I agree with
for
her.
all of your opinions on the first question of the day.
Yeah, it was.
You guys have got some great opinions. I don't care who you
It's
are.
because they rock.
They sure do. Part 2 today, we're going to talk about did COVID cause more family abuse?
Look who sent this in.
Yes, our friend Mike Lipka.
Big boy Mike.
And you know, he saw the same law enforcement report that I did.
Yeah.
And some of the folks kind of took this out of context of what he was meaning.
They did, yeah.
James O'Donnell said blaming abuse on a virus is dumb. Guns aren't responsible for gun violence either. People are the problem. And James, you're absolutely right.
Short and sweet and to the point.
But he, Mike was referring to the law enforcement report
yeah.
that basically said that with all the quarantine and people being closed in together for such a long period of time,
Yeah.
they were afraid the abuse numbers would go up, but it didn't. So they're suspecting that people didn't call in the abuse because the abuser was still in the house.
I mean, as much
So
as
it makes sense.
I love Helen, I don't want to be connected to her side 24/7. I mean, physically, because you get. I don't know.
I don't care how long you've been married. Karen and I've been married 36 years,
Yeah.
almost 36.
Well, I mean,
And, we've had several businesses together, so we've worked together side by side 24/7 for, all this time. And there are times when you get on each other's nerves. You just got to go out and.
there are ups and downs.
Yeah.
In any type of relationship,
But I wouldn't trade her for the world.
You wouldn't?
Trade her for the world. Mm-mm.
I'd trade her for a painted pony real quick. Don't you give me a dirty look. She said, "I'm sorry, but it wasn't me that
Remember,
gave you
she's
that
got
dirty
a
look."
concealed carry license.
Oh, does she? I thought you
does.
sold a gun.
She's
lied to
got
me.
her pistol.
I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Karen.
Where were we?
Susan.
Yeah, Susan Saunders told James, "I get what you're saying, but there's some in this world that can't and don't handle stress very well." And that has a lot to do with it, too, I think. With that being said, many times those said people could very well possibly be either start hitting, yelling, and God knows what to their own family members, such as children, siblings, spouses, or even their parents. That's one I don't want to get on involving the parents. Oh, and just an FYI, there are many types of abuse, and I've personally been through multiple of those types. Verbal, emotional abuse were far more for me than physical. Again, this is just my opinion, but you know what they're saying about opinions.
Yeah, we sure do.
I know what they say about opinion, but by God, I agree with you, Miss Susan. I do, and that's one thing that just that'll ruffle my hair real quick. Somebody disrespecting their parents when they're senior citizens.
Yep.
I'd be willing to go to jail over that.
Yeah,
whether I
you
knew
and
them
me
or not.
both.
Yeah.
Susan, sorry you went through that, but my gosh, did you turn out to be a wonderful woman?
She's a tough gal too.
She is.
She's
a sweet lady.
She don't let too much silliness slide by her. By God,
That's exactly
What you got,
correct.
Karen?
But she's so right. I know the physical is tough, but the mental abuse is, to me,
Stays with you forever.
it stays with
And
you
that- and
forever.
that's me,
And
yeah.
it's a sad and makes women cow down,
Yeah.
and they can't become who they are. And mental abuse to me is far worse than the physical part. You can heal from physical.
That's right.
But
I mean,
you can't
break
heal
my
from
nose,
emotional.
kick me where you're not supposed to, but don't try to ridicule me and implant things in my mind I'm never gonna get over. I mean
That's true.
unless
That's
you're tired of me being your friend.
Katrina Weckworth had a great response. She said the virus itself would not be responsible, and I don't recall a symptom altering behavior that way.
Yeah.
But being locked down in a house for multiple months with children or a bitchy partner, then attitudes start flaring from being stuck.
Yeah.
I could see why some would think that. Thankfully, my job took off.
Yeah.
I don't have what it takes to be a stay-at-home mom or wife. Otherwise, I would be the one over there explaining to the judge that it was COVID that made me do it.
It was that cornholio, your honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can
It was
kind of
COVID that made me do it.
I can kind of dig what
There you
you're
go.
saying, Katrina. I mean, stress affects. I mean, lack of money.
Yeah.
Lack of being cooped up. I mean,
That's true.
Not having answers, not knowing what to do because you don't know where in the hell the economy's going. Yeah, that'd be enough to make it a little thick-aired around the old household, I do believe.
There you go.
Ronnie Massey said, I think what Mike was referring to was a report that came out from law enforcement saying they suspect with being shut in quarantine for so many months that they are sure abuse is not being reported because the offender was still in the house. That report stated that by being secluded with your family and having your daily routine stop cold, that tempers were sure to flare, but may not be reported. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that.
And he saw the same report that I saw.
Well, yeah, I mean, you call the cops and they go, "Sorry, ma'am, I can't do anything for you," and he finds out, he'll turn and beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
Nelda Pound Slater says, I think that children and spouses who are being abused are probably abused more when kids are at home more and people can't go to work and or lose their jobs because of the COVID shutdown.
Right?
Not the COVID itself causing it, but the results of the government shutting things down.
Yep.
And people who won't control their tempers abuse more at that time.
Another good point, Nelda.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And Susan Saunders, Leslyn Murphy Pruitt, and Lisa Seeley all said, well said, Nelda. And I agree with them.
And finally, Shirley Mills says it hasn't caused any in my family or extended family. I think if there were problems in the home before the COVID, then yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was probably worse now.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you very much for the suggestion on that, and thank you guys for answering that.
Yeah, good show topic, Bubba.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into our viewer comments. On our program about forgotten kindness, Stephen W. Crenshaw said it is my opinion that the libtard PC actions have backed us into a corner, and this is all we have left. I will add, coming home to South Texas last month, I found civility and polite manners still abound. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right. I know him very well, and in fact, I know I'm related to him and his family. He and Connie raised their kids right. They've got probably some of the best kids you would ever want to be around, and they, in family tradition, are raising their children the same way. So they own a whole compound down a cottonwood or dogwood trail, wherever that is. They live down there in South Texas. And they're not afraid to bust that butt, by God.
I heard that.
They're out in the country. Big Billy Bryan commented on the same show by saying, I can only speak for myself, but during the frozen week, myself and others like me did not forget our kindness. We were out on snow-covered roads taking supplies to people that didn't have any. Perhaps it takes an emergency before people remember what an act of kindness should be about. And that's well said, Big Billy. And I know for a fact that you was up and down those roads delivering goodies. So,
and I hope you also saw, Billy, some of the responses on your opinion there that thanked you.
A lot of kudos on there.
Yeah, and we appreciate it too.
Yeah, we do.
Marsha Reinhold says she just watched our show on losing our conservative speech.
Yeah.
She said, I sure as heck am afraid of losing mine.
Yeah.
Things have swung so far to the left that if you have a differing opinion, you could get bodily attacked or take a tongue lashing. I will continue to voice my opinion, though, when and where I want to.
That's a by God statement right there.
Yes, it is.
I've always been the same way, Marcia, and I will probably go to my grave earlier than I should have by being that way. And last but not least, Longika Konikon or Konikon, excuse me for not knowing how to pronounce your name. I hope you can straighten it out for us. Wrote in on YouTube to say, I just came across this channel, and I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you, Longika. Appreciate that very much.
We absolutely love you being here and helping make it happen. I mean, we just do the show. It's y'all's show. We just make it happen through the magic of this one over here.
That's exactly correct. And if you have a suggestion for our show or a comment on any question you see, it's easy to do.
Yep.
All you have to do is go on our email site at grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
That's one good way of getting her done.
Or
you can hit us up directly on our show website page, just simply by keying on your keyboard www.grandpanpappy.com. That's www.grandpaandpappy.com, where you'll see that red button. Just push it, come up with an easy to remember password, and subscribe. It's a numbers driven show. Our home platform is YouTube, and while you're there, you see other buttons as well. You can hit a Facebook button, go directly to our Facebook podcast page if you desire, or Twitter, stuff like that.
Yeah,
where you can leave comments, show topics,
that's
suggestions.
right.
And,
our Facebook page, if you're not a member of the Grandpa and Pappy Facebook group page, just send us your information, your name. And we will send you an invitation to join that, and you can see all of the opinions that are put on our show based on the questions.
Some of them are unedited, and they
are.
make Grandpa's ears wiggle when he reads them.
It does.
It's cute. You'd like it.
Hey, we end every show by telling you the same thing every time because we believe it. Hug your kids and let them know you love them.
And you better believe they're well loved right here on the Grandpa and Pappy Show, too, by God.
You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Take care of each other.
Do that. We'll look forward to seeing you back here Monday.
Absolutely. Until then, God bless you. God bless America. And we'll see you back on Monday.
Later.
Bye-bye.